Napag-alaman din po namin na delayed yung inyong registration of birth. Ilang taon na po kayo nung na-register yung inyong birth?
Your Honor, hindi ko pa lang po siya masyado maalala po ngayon. Okay lang, check ko po.
At saan pala po kayo ipinanganak? Sa ospital ba? Sa bahay ba? Sa lying-in clinic ba?
Your Honor, ang sinabi po sa akin sa bahay po.
Sa bahay. Saan po yung bahay ninyo nung ipinanganak kayo?
Hindi ko na po, Your Honor, hindi ko na po alam.
Your Honor, hindi ko na po maalala. A statement response from Mayor Guo during the Senate hearing this Wednesday, May 8, 2024, when Senator Risa Hontiveros asked if she is in any form of connection with the Chinese government. Following that, Mayor Guo is associated with the recent raid to Hongsheng, a gaming technology incorporation that is actually a Philippine offshore gaming operation, or also known as POGO. Upon further investigation, Senator Hontiveros concluded that Mayor Guo has no official records to prove that she was a Filipino citizen and her name only appeared in the 2022 election. Senator Hontiveros added that maybe Mayor Guo is an asset from China to rule over the Philippine government.
Now, what was the ethical dilemma faced in reporting the issue? The dilemma in the issue is that Mayor Guo is a possible Chinese asset that is likely to influence the Philippine government. With Mayor Guo's questionable record, she showed late registration of birth at 17 years old. On the Senate hearing, Mayor Guo stated an unsure answers regarding Senator Hontiveros' questions on being a citizen of the Philippines. In addition is her history of education. An ethical dilemma faced here is a possible conflict of interest in government. Considering that this reporting issue is still an ongoing investigation, the ethical dilemma is not yet resolved, thus influencing a wake-up call for the higher government to check the credibility of candidates of office.
The ethical considerations that were upheld in the report on Mayor Guo's connection to the POGO industry in the Philippines are truth-telling, compassion, and justice. The report showcased truth-telling, compassion, and justice as Senator Hontiveros provided reliable sources on Mayor Guo's information and background that dictates gaps in Mayor Guo's residency in the country. According to Senator Hontiveros' sources, an investigation on Mayor Guo's life in the town of Bamban, Tarlac, indicated that the mayor only appeared and became known during her independent candidacy in the 2022 mayor election. Aside from that, no one knows her. It was also stated that upon further investigation, there were no birth records of Mayor Guo as well as any document stated that she studied in Banban, igniting more questions about her connections with the POGO industry. Compassion towards the human trafficking victims of the POGO scheme is apparent in the report. Upon the March 13 raid in Anupul village, a huge amount of trafficked individuals of different nationalities were saved. Striving to reach justice and truth behind the alleged connection of Mayor Guo to the Chinese government and her involvement in the POGO scheme in the country and the town she is governing. The three mentioned ethical consideration highlighted the key factors that are needed to be looked into deeper to understand and know the connection of Mayor Guo towards the ongoing problem of POGO gambling in the country and the associated human trafficking in the POGO scheme. In the report, the inaccuracy and confusing responses of Mayor Guo may open a deeper investigation on the multiple illegal POGO businesses in the country, as well as a deeper dive on the Chinese involvement in the POGO human trafficking, and if Mayor Guo is indeed a planted spy in the Philippine government.
Upon reading the provided news report, we could not identify any clear indications of ethical considerations that the reporter had completely ignored. We can, however, point out a few possible ethical concerns as well as areas in which the report may have been more fair. Firstly, the report heavily focuses on the allegations and questions raised by Senator Hontiveros against Mayor Alice Guo. It appears to give less prominence to Guo's side of the story or her responses to the allegations, potentially raising concerns about fair and balanced reporting. Secondly, The report extensively discusses the allegations and suspicions surrounding Mayor Guo's background and ties without explicitly mentioning the principle of presumption of innocence, a fundamental legal and ethical consideration. Lastly, the report delves into Guo's personal background details, such as her birth registration and schooling records, without mentioning whether her privacy rights or consent were considered. While these potential concerns are based on the given report, there may be additional context or justifications that are not explicitly stated, as ethical journalism often requires a careful balance between various principles. Overall, while the report raises legitimate questions about Guo's background and ties to Pogos, some of the language and implications cross ethical boundaries without sufficient evidence. A more measured and fact-based approach, focusing on the specific concerns about conflicts of interest and national security risk, might have been more ethical. It is important to balance the public's right to know about the potential issues involving public officials with the need to avoid unfair accusations or invasions of privacy without clear justification. Responsible journalism should strive to present facts and present evidence objectively, while being careful about unsubstantiated claims or sensationalism.
Journalism is a tough job indeed, with multiple questions popping up to every answer. In the case of Mayor Guo, identifying gray areas in her life and bringing them to light in an ethical manner help the readers or viewers comprehend the depth of the issue and how impactful it is to our society and government.